Miss Kane, we've completed your lab work and preliminary exam. All we need now is your signature on these forms.
So many?
The top one is the consent for surgery.
Notification for next of kin.
Someone we can contact in case of complications.
Does Dr. Faschinella expect complications?
No, it's merely a precaution. Are you married?
No, I'm actually between husbands at the moment.
I see. What about your parents?
Oh, no, my father is unreachable. My mother has passed away.
Oh. Children, then?
Well, I have a little girl, Bianca, but she's only 12. I certainly don't want to frighten her with this.
We need a name, Miss Kane.
Yes. Myrtle Fargate. What's this?
You understand that Dr. Faschinella can't guarantee the results. This procedure is considered experimental. Your signature releases the hospital from any liability if the surgery is not successful.
Darling Bianca, Rio is absolutely breathtaking. Someday I want to bring you here, and we'll see all the sights. Maybe we'll visit during carnival time. My surgery is scheduled for this afternoon. I am brimming with anticipation.
You don't have to drop me a line.
Why are you here? I didn't know that Dr. Faschinella had called you to come here.
He didn't.
Well, I don't believe you. He performed an EKG on me yesterday, so something must be wrong with my heart or he wouldn't have called you.
No, I spoke with Eduardo, but there's no cause for alarm. Your heart is doing fine. And he's very confident that the procedure will go well.
Well, if my heart is fine, then why are you here?
I've never been to Rio. The chance to see it and you at the same time proved irresistible.
Excuse me?
You're about to have major surgery, Erica. I didn't think you should be alone.
You feel sorry for me?
Why would I feel sorry for you? You're beautiful. You're courageous. You're the only woman I've ever met who didn't bore me to tears within the first 5 minutes. You make my life interesting, Erica. I wanted to be here for you.
You put your entire practice on hold so you could just come down here and hold my hand?
Undergoing surgery can be traumatic. Wondering when you come out from the anesthetic if your life has changed. It's scary.
Well, I'm not frightened. I'm not frightened at all. I've been looking forward to this operation for months.
But you also have a lot riding on the outcome. It is only natural to be afraid.
Sorry to disappoint you.
Is it so difficult for you to admit that you're only human? That you're vulnerable? Just like the rest of us mere mortals?
Oh, now I never thought that you considered yourself a mere mortal.
Here you are about to undergo reconstructive surgery, but you can't resist the urge to stick it to me.
Well, would you prefer that I was a quivering mess?
On the contrary. I think your ability to hold it all together, keep your sense of humor intact, is admirable.
Well, I'm not afraid of Faschinella. I mean, I trust Faschinella. And I'm not afraid of the anesthetic, and I'm not afraid of getting off the operating table.
But you are afraid of what you'll see once the bandages come off.
Well, I've waited for a long time. And I prayed for a miracle. And I did somewhere in my heart keep my hope alive that I would come out of the surgery the same person I was before the accident. But now that that miracle is within reach, I am frightened. I am frightened out of my mind.
When we crashed into that truck, it was like going through a looking glass. You can come out the other side, Erica. And you might not be the person that you left behind, but that might not be a tragedy.
Well, you're right about one thing. I mean, even if my face is fully restored, I will never be the same person again.
Neither of us will ever be.
And you know, I could stand that if I could just look in a mirror and recognize myself. Just see myself again. You know, the worst thing when my mother died was that I knew that I would never, ever see her face smiling back at me again. And I don't want that for Bianca. I don't want Bianca to lose me. I want her to be able to see me. I want her to be able to see my face, my smile, the way she always has. And I'd like to be familiar looking to my friends and my family. I'd like to have my old smile back. I'd like to have my old cheekbones. I'd like to just know who I really am.
You don't need a mirror to tell you who you are. Look at me. Look into my eyes. Tell me what you see.
No, I can't.
Then I'll tell you what I see. I see a strong, brave, vulnerable woman who had the courage to stand up to my demons and not flinch. I'm here to return the favor, Erica. Whatever you're afraid of, whatever demons you're facing, I'll stand up to them with you.
And if the surgery is not a success?
Don't even think about that.
Well, that's all I can think about. I mean, the nurse asked me to sign a release just a little while ago in case the operation is a failure. My face is the face of enchantment. My face is the face that launched 100 campaigns and product lines. I mean, my life as I know it could be over.
You're right. It might happen exactly as you just said. But you are wrong about one thing. Erica, no matter what happens to you in surgery, you have to know one thing. You still have your friends. You still have your family. The people who love you aren't going to love you any less because your face isn't perfect.
I know I have my friends. I know. And I know that I'll still have Bianca. Look, the thing is, Bianca's just at that age, you know, where she's curious about boys and love, and one of the jobs of a mother is to teach her daughter how to be a woman.
And you're going to do a wonderful job.
How can you be so sure of that? You don't even know my daughter.
You're right, I don't, but I know you. Or at least I'm learning to. And your daughter couldn't have a more beautiful, more successful woman to look up to.
David, I'm not talking about makeup tricks and fashion tips. I'm talking about learning how to love and be loved.
And she will.
Well, when she was so sick that she didn't eat anymore, when she was in so much pain that the only thing that she could even think about was her imperfections, I kept thinking to myself, what did I do? And what can I do better now? What can I do to change so that she can feel better about herself? She can feel secure about who she is, or she can just feel safe about who she is.
Just like your mother made you feel.
Yes, that's true. And I didn't always appreciate it. But my mother made me feel like my life really mattered, you know, not just to her, but to the world. And I want that so much for Bianca. I want Bianca to be able to believe that about herself, you know, with all her heart.
I believe it. I know how much you love your daughter every time you mention her name.
Well, then you'll understand that I really don't want her to be overshadowed by my problems. I mean, certainly not now.
You do know how to put your daughter first. Vanessa, she always wanted to be the center of attention. And she still does. But there was always this distance between us because I spent half of my childhood trying to figure out if she really meant what she said. Bianca will never have that problem.
No. But she'll have others.
We all do. But knowing what you feel and why you feel it, that anchors you.
Me?
With anybody, but especially you. You always seem to know what's going on deep inside you and how to let it out. Whether it's through a smile or a small golden hand mirror.
I'm sorry. I am very impulsive, that's true.
You are more yourself than anybody I've ever known. And Erica, it's not just a child who looks for that. A man looks for that in a woman. And it's a lot more important than being physically beautiful, perfect.
You're just saying that because my life could change in the next few hours. But what really happens if, as a woman, I'm just not attractive?
Erica, you will always be beautiful. Light will always shine from those eyes, from deep within, warm and inviting, leading men home.
Miss Kay, it's time.
I'm gonna be right here when you wake up.